So I think Dragon Ball is pretty neat. If you take one look at my channel, you can see that I like the show. It's not really a big secret, but just because I like the show does not mean I don't think it is without flaws. There are quite honestly a lot of things I don't particularly like about Dragon Ball. One of these things being, for example, the video I did on why I believe Dragon Ball Super kind of ruined Goku's character altogether. But in today's video I'm going to be talking about the single biggest point of dislike that I have with the Dragon Ball franchise. Bullshit, ass-pull transformations and power-ups that make zero sense whatsoever. Now, obvious disclaimer, ass-pulls, the power of friendship, situational power-ups and whatnot, like they're not at all uncommon in the world of shonen anime. Fairy Tail does it, Bleach does it, Naruto does it, One Piece does it, etc. This video will be specifically about Dragon Ball, but I do want to make it clear that these issues I have with Dragon Ball in regards to this subject do carry over to all of this other anime. It's just that this video happens to be about Dragon Ball and not one of those other shows. Also, do keep in mind that this video is 100% purely opinion based. This is just me sharing my opinion on the internet like an idiot. If you have a different opinion from mine, that is perfectly fine too. And lastly, I want to mention that this video will not be including anything from the Dragon Ball Heroes franchise. The entire backbone of Heroes is the spam of new unexplained bullshit transformations, but it doesn't really bother me precisely because it's just Heroes, it's just what they do, it's their trademark. But with that little disclaimer out of the way, let's get talking about what I think is the biggest pile of bullshit garbage Dragon Ball has ever given us. This list will be in order from, you know, things I dislike all the way to things I think are the worst thing ever. So basically from low to high amounts of irritation. To start of this list at number 7 we have Ultra Instinct. And I know, how can I possibly not like Ultra Instinct? The thing with this one is that it's not the form itself that I actually dislike. It's how Goku just ass pulls it at the most convenient moment possible. Throughout the entire series we have gotten several quotes of Whis and Beerus that reference the technique of Ultra Instinct. The reason this is at the lowest place on my list is because we actually get a decent sort of backstory for it through their references. However, we have not seen Goku do anything remotely close to what Ultra Instinct is throughout pretty much the entire series. I would have loved to see some minuscule glimpses of Ultra Instinct's sign at previous moments in the series to give us viewers an inkling of what would be coming our way. But with the way the show actually aired, Goku was just suddenly able to use it. The manga admittedly did a much better job at the whole Ultra Instinct technique by including the speculation that someone like Roshi with insane amounts of experience might have been using it against his fight with Jiren. The anime just honestly kind of fumbled it though, in my opinion. At number 6 we have Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. This really just felt like a cop-out to me. I feel like the only reason this form even exists in the first place is because they felt obliged to give Vegeta something. Since Goku was given the Ultra Instinct form during the Tournament of Power and Vegeta was never really given the Super Saiyan 3 form before, I just feel they had the intern come up with an idea for a new form to give Vegeta at least something for the arc. This form does get brownie points though because I actually quite like the design of the form itself. I'm usually a sucker for the more simplistic designs like Super Saiyan or Potential Unleashed or Super Saiyan God anyway. So having this new form reference Super Vegeta's old design was a very nice choice if you ask me. At number 5 we have Golden Frieza and Black Frieza combined. The reason that I combined these two is honestly because they feel like the exact same form to me. When it was revealed that Frieza just beat up some minions for like 4 months and leapt in power from the Namek saga all the way to post Battle of Gods, I called immediate bullshit. No matter how much of a prodigy Frieza is, him being able to ass pull his way from the Namek saga to post Battle of Gods is just fucking stupid. And for all we know right now, Black Frieza is the same exact bullshit story, but we obviously don't know a lot about Black Frieza yet. This is also the reason I kept this guy at spot 5, but if it turns out that Black Frieza is just exactly the same bullshit story as Golden Frieza was, you can bet your ass he's going up on this list. Even though they explain Frieza is a super duper hyper mega ultra protagonist level prodigy, the way he obtained this form just still sounds like such a bullshit plot device ass pull to me, but you know, once again, my opinion. At number 4 we have Beast Gohan. Now, Beast Gohan is kind of a double-edged blade to me. We all know that throughout the series, Gohan has always had insane amounts of latent or hidden potential. We saw this power come to the surface on multiple occasions, like for example, him headbutting Reddit, him attacking Nappa, him fighting against Frieza in both his second and final form, him being the first to achieve Super Saiyan 2, etc. He was also also the only character to achieve the potential unlocked form through the Elder Kite ritual in the series. Like, we all saw Gohan achieved a brand new form in the new superhero movie. And this is also where we saw that Gohan stopped training again for like the 50th time. However, just by getting angry, Gohan is able to completely eclipse an Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta. And just like with Frieza, I get it, Gohan is a prodigy, but come on now, really? If they had showed that Gohan diligently kept up with his training, I would have much less of a problem with him awakening to his beast form. I mean, he did hint at wanting to achieve his own unique form in the past, so that would have been a great motivator for him to actually train to achieve it. But instead of that, they basically copy the exact events of him transforming into Super Saiyan 2 1-to-1. They literally even just pretty much copied the scene. This was pretty disappointing to me, but maybe that's all my fault for having high expectations, but I still kind of felt let down by the way they gave him his new form. It also doesn't help that I just don't like the look of Beast Gohan all that much. I think they went with the proportions of hair to body he had as a kid, but it just looks kinda ridiculous as an adult, but maybe that's just me. At number 3 I have Ultra Ego. I'll just come right out of the gate with this one. I just dislike everything about this form. The way it looks, the way Vegeta obtains it, which makes not a lot of sense to me, personally, but whatever. So according to the manga, the Ultra Ego form is something you can only achieve by training with a God of Destruction. Vegeta achieved it after Beerus taught it to him somehow. Of course, Vegeta still gets his ass handed to him, even though he has a new power-up, but you know, what do you want? It's Vegeta, he's gotta get his ass handed to him. It's the same thing that always happens. The problem I have with this form is that Vegeta suddenly got this after being taught by Beerus in like 2, maybe 3 training sessions. It's simply not explained at all how one gets this form, what kind of training you have to do, etc. If it's a technique on par with Ultra Instinct, it sure would have been very fucking handy if Vegeta had that shit in the Tournament of Power. You know, the tournament you all thought would erase your universe? Like, why the hell didn't Beerus at least clue Vegeta in about Ultra Ego? But that's why I just really don't like Ultra Ego, plus it just looks so stupid, and I know that's a really personal preference type nitpick, but all the other factors still do contribute. This form just makes very little sense to me. His Evolution Blue form is just way cooler if you ask me, and it also just makes more sense than this pile of dog shit. At number 2 I have Power Awakening Piccolo and subsequently Orange Piccolo. As much as I love Piccolo finally getting a form of his own, and him just generally getting recognition for the great fighter he is, this just ain't it. The thing I dislike about this form, or rather these forms, is the way he achieved it. It's not about the design, I quite like the design, but I always knew that one day they would just wish for a power-up, and it just sucks so hard it had to be Piccolo to be the one to have to ask Shenron. The mere fact that Shenron, which should be equal in power to Dende's god powers, was able to push Piccolo to the level of UI Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta is just batshit crazy to me. If it was just the Power Awakening form, I'd be pretty content with it. Sure, I still wouldn't like the way he had to wish for it, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. The fact that the little extra Shenron pulled out of his gaping dragon asshole was able to power Piccolo up so much is the real stinker for me. Piccolo was always a character who trained so hard to get to where he is. For them to just make him, of all people, use the Dragon Balls like that just felt really out of character to me, at least, you know, personally. But finally, at number 1, the most bullshit power-up in my opinion is Super Saiyan Rage, or however you want to call it. This form of Trunks just makes zero sense whatsoever, and to top it all off, they don't even explain a single strand of shit about it. The only explanation I can kind of get behind is that this form is a sort of relative, you know, comparison to Gohan's potential awakened form. As we know, Trunks also had his potential awakened by the Elder Kai, but since his latent potential was not as crazy high as Gohan's, he never got the actual potential unlocked form. Instead, with his potential awakened and his rage, you know, he was maybe able to create some kind of weird freak show hybrid between Super Saiyan 2 and potential unleashed. But it doesn't take away that this form is just stupid. They could have just given him Super Saiyan 3. The dude was already able to keep up with God Key level characters whilst just being a Super Saiyan 2. This in and of itself already makes little sense. Him getting Super Saiyan 3 after witnessing Goku use it would have been a more natural conclusion if you ask me. Trunks, the final warrior in the future, achieves the pinnacle of Saiyan power without God Key having to be forcefully inserted. But you know, that was my list of asspull forms that I really just dislike in Dragon Ball. Of course, once again, this list is completely opinion opinion based, I just happen to think this way, but there's absolutely nothing wrong if you absolutely love any of these forms. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what your least favorite and most favorite form in Dragon Ball is. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all again in the next video. Peace out.